maybe we should wait another 2 or 3 minutes because the sound in the background is very annoying.
Okay, okay, for sure. We can start in a couple of minutes.
Or at least when the sound stops.
Also to remind you that if you have any questions during the presentation, you can also use the chat and we will answer you immediately. And of course, after the session, we can have some discussion.
Yeah, that would be nice. I guess we have a question that is asking if we can find the recordings of these sessions. Maybe we can take this until we get into the presentation.
Yes, sure. Actually, we will see recordings after the program. We will probably use the project's channel, YouTube channel maybe, and we will upload every webinar there, but this will happen after the program. And we will let you know, of course, when we will release them.
All right. So I guess we're ready to start. All right. So for those who joined us a little bit later, my name is Marius Geru, and today we are going to discuss about market analysis and segmentation. So the thing is, even if we are about the cultural and heritage sector, the organization that deal with the CCI, there are a couple of things or ideas that you guys need to keep in mind going further with your businesses and of course with the management organizations that are involved in this project. I'm representing Open Hub Creative Cluster. This is our logo right here below. But of course, there are many other organizations involved in this project, and hopefully you already interacted with them. I'm happy to be part of this project. I've been part of the first session that happened like 2 years ago now. In the first session, there weren't so many SMEs involved, so I'm happy to see an increase in the interest of companies that want to apply for funding and somehow get involved with the creative and cultural industries sector. So today we're going through a couple of things related to market segmentation and how we should approach different stakeholder in the cultural and creative industries. I prepared this presentation with the specific stakeholder in this area in mind. And sorry, the presentation is not. The presentation is not showing up, but I'm no longer a host and I cannot share my screen. something happened. Share, maybe share screen. 1 second. Share this. Is it visible now?
Yes, it's fine.
All right, so don't hesitate to drop any questions. I cannot see the chat window, so I will ask Georgiana to tell me when somebody is asking question. I also have a short poll during this session, and also I'll have some materials that you guys can use after this session in order to you do the assessment of your company and so on. But you'll see more detail in the presentation. So the first thing that I want to do, I just want to know the audience here. I wanted to have a pool, but I didn't know how to do it on Zoom. So I would like you guys to react. You see the little heart down below. So for people that are involved with museum and heritage sites, they should clap. The SMEs that are involved in the creative and cultural sector should put a thumbs up. Joy for cluster manager if there are any involved. An open mouth for cultural tourism operator, and public authorities heart. All right. So there is a lot of engagement. What I'm seeing, a lot of SMEs involved in our session today. Thank you so much. Of course, the focus of this presentation is on SMEs, and of course, I have a couple of tools that you can use in planning your businesses, on how to assess the audience that you are targeting or the stakeholders that you are getting involved in your business processes. The most important future for SMEs, and taking into consideration the value chain of the cultural heritage, is SMEs usually act as mediators, right? So on one hand, we have the creators, the artists, the communities. We have the custodians, right? The people that have the asset that the creators are creating, like museum and sites and archives, right? And on the other hand, the SMEs always want to match these creators or custodians with the proper audience, with the visitor, the tourist, the public, and the main objective is to have, of course, income, because this is why you created your SME. You want to create a good reputation, of course, and get some funding back, considering the investment in money and time that you put in. As you've seen in the room, are all parties that I've uh, put here. So we have, of course, clusters that they act as well as mediator, but clusters are helping the SMEs to get funded, as this project is all about, but also to connect the SMEs with the proper audience. We'll discuss today, and also see all the stakeholders that are getting involved here. So the three traps when an SME or a company, an entrepreneur, is when they analyze the market, usually they see everybody as one profile. They want to promote their businesses or promote their event to people that behave like everybody else, and usually this is a huge mistake. considering that people have different preferences, they react to different things, and we'll see how we can do a profile on different personas and how they behave on different mediums. And based on that, we can prepare the content and all material specifically for them. On the other hand, we are seeing an increase in digital native audiences on social media and on other platforms. We can see an increase in use of artificial intelligence, and people are consuming more and more digital material nowadays. The first interaction they are having with your company, with your brand, or with the content that you are creating is on social media. Based on what they see there, they will follow up and go to your event or interact with your business. Of course, I believe most of the uh, companies present today are small companies. Of course, we are talking about small and medium enterprises. If there were big enterprises, this wasn't the case. But there is also always a dependency on the founder, right? So there is a single founder that is doing everything, knows everybody, knows the network around the company, and this dependence can be hard to overcome in time. So taking this into to consideration, the most important thing is to map the ecosystem around you, right, and understand what are the needs of the stakeholders that are involved in your business. So when I'm saying stakeholders, right, we can talk about visitors, locals, or repeated visitors, or school groups, or people that have accessibility needs, right? So these are visitors, public authorities. We at Open Hub have organized many programs and many events or cultural activities, and we always start with the municipality. If we have the municipality on board, is the veto of trust, and people want to join us. There is also regional and national agencies that we want to involve, and also we are looking for other organizations that have boards, or organization in tourism, for example, that have, and there are and we have people that can promote and interact with our business. On the other hand, cultural tourism is a very important segment of stakeholders, uh, because there is a common identity where people want to be part of, right? So there is a specific domestic cultural tourism for specific events, and also we can see at the international level, when people are choosing destination to travel, they are looking for the cultural heritage for that specific place. When people were just looking for a seaside vacation for a time, one-time travel a year, this was not a big thing. But right now, you want to see how people are living there, how they interact, how the food is, what's the history, and so on, so on. So the cultural tourism is gaining a lot of traction lately. Another type of stakeholders are the creative partners, as we've discussed in the previous slide. And here we are talking about artists, designers, media persons. We are seeing a lot of influencers lately, right? Or sister organization for other regions that are doing pretty much the same thing. And they are creating any kind of content, and they can help us develop our own business. So basically, with these four types of stakeholders, we'll interact in the further slides. If you guys think there is a different section, a different area, feel free to comment in the chat or write it there just to have it for later discussion. The main idea is that when we are talking about our audience, there are some different views that we need to take into account. So the visitors is not our audience, and the audience is not the customer. If you are having a small shop or a small business where people are visiting, are passing by, they are just visiting. Maybe they are not interested in what you are proposing in your business, the services that you are providing, so they are not your audience, right? But if this audience is not buying, of course, they are not your customer. And as you can see here, I put every segment in a circle, right? So the overall goal for you is go from the visitor to audience to customer. Imagine that you have a new post on social media, let's say on Instagram, on Facebook, right? The visitor are just scrolling by, just viewing the photos and videos you've creating. The audience is interacting somehow with your content, is giving you a like, a heart, or share of the content, and the customers really enjoys the content and comes and buys whatever you are selling, right? Pays for the ticket, the workshop, the venue or subscription that you are providing. Is very important to make a difference in these segments, and it is important to treat them differently based on their needs. So the interest and influence are adapted for the heritage and cultural and creative industries as follow. You can see this matrix. On one side we have influence, and on the other side we have interest. So we want to keep the audience and customer, keep them satisfied, right? And we need to monitor the activities that they are doing, manage closely the way they interact with our brand, with our products, and keep them informed, right? The thing is, the segments of the audience discussed earlier, the stakeholder, we need to take each of them through this process and see what is the most important step out of this four, that they can uh, uh, interact with our business. So for each stakeholder, I'm going back a little bit, as we define them here: visitor, public authorities, cultural, tourism, creative partners. We should go through the four stages of this plan and refresh the needs they have every quarter, every 3 months, not yearly. And uh, we should see how we can manage to interact closely with each segment. The interesting part, we can have archaeological view on this interaction. We can segment this main public funders and regional tourism boards as lead archaeologist. One second. Sorry. Give me a second. I am back. Hopefully, my voice will help. I think I will need a break for 1 minute or two to get a glass of water.
It's okay, of course, no worries. We can have like a mini break.
May I ask you a question, Katerina, if it's possible?
Sure.
Yeah. We have been waiting for these presentations. I think it will be very useful even for our team members and also for our future partners in the projects, because we are committed to this team and we want to bring different people with great experience in heritage and business and projects as well.
Yes, of course. We will share for sure. We will share the recordings after the program. But if the speakers are fine with it because they own their presentations, we will also share the material after we have the consent of the speakers, of course.
Yeah.
And
No,
we are very happy
point...
that you're committed, and we're very glad that you're interested in this program.
It's just about coming back to this and take our time. Of course, it's a procedure. You should ask for the permission of the presenters, but it will be very, very useful for dissemination as well, and to see how the things work. In my opinion, it's just a matter of communication and persuading people that it's a very valuable field to be promoted, even in other frames of creative entrepreneurship and other things that can come in the field of heritage. Okay. Thank you so much.
Good day. Please, one questions.
Okay. Yes.
Katarina, one questions. Can I search partners in your program? My project it is have patent. Had a patent on all Europe, patent on all world. Made one moment.
Okay, I think I'm back.
Okay. Thank you,
And I
Marius.
can take it slowly this time.
Okay. But if you need a break, it's totally fine. No worries.
Okay. I find. One moment. I search partners to. I have experience. Made it this patent tomatoes. Who is of all students interesting partners with me and made it this patent technology in restaurant, in hotel, or famous on European Union. What we cooperations on your program, okay?
All right, Dimitri, thank you so much for the product presentation. I will definitely include that in the use cases I will present earlier, but let's keep the promotion until the end. And I'm sure you can find partners here, and I'm more than happy to facilitate the communication. Now, let me get back to my presentation. Hopefully, we'll finish on time, and then we'll go through with other projects, other products that you guys have, and find ways how we can apply the template on what you want to promote. Sounds good?
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. So, basically, considering the stakeholders, you want to interact in a particular way based on their profile. So main public figures and funders and regional tourism boards, you want to manage them closely. We want to keep them as close as possible and keep them informed about what you're doing, how you're doing, maybe have public discussions with them in panels and so on how the whole ecosystem is developing. On the other hand, if you are talking about the municipality, the mayor, the Ministry of Culture, and property owner, you want to keep them satisfied. Do good events, invite many people, put them on the stage, give them the opportunity to speak about what they are doing. On the other hand, if there are stakeholders like teacher, heritage bloggers, local press, and volunteers, mostly you want to keep them informed. You want to send them newsletters. You want to send press releases, invite them to events, and ask them to comment or write about whatever you are doing. And on the other hand, the general audience, you want them to monitor your activity, right? General passes and distant academic groups. What I want you to do next in the chat section, I want you to list 5 stakeholders based on what I've discussed earlier. So these stakeholders should be comma separated names or roles and groups of people that are interested in your business. And an example in this manner is a mayor, a school director, Saturday families, Instagram heritage creators, or regional bus companies that can promote or interact with your brand or products. I will get back to the slide where I've divided the stakeholders types, right? So please write down in the comment what are the stakeholders that interact with your businesses. You have 3 minutes for this thing. Please put in the information here, and then we'll go through. I want to see some answers. Hopefully, we'll have some example to put them in the next slides, and also I will send some materials for people who want to better understand how to profile the stakeholders that interact with their businesses. All right, so we have an answer from Roxana Koman, cultural tourists, artists, designer, municipal, tourism boards. All right, from Brashov. Nice, Roxana. Cultural tourism, public authorities in Romania, local reporters, really nice examples. We have NGOs, of course. Of course, NGOs are a stakeholder considering they are offering funding for you guys. Regional tour operators, cultural ambassadors, domestic and international cultural tourism, materials. Not sure I understand this one from Anna. Okay, travel groups, school groups, large groups of friends, companies. Very nice. French Ministry of Culture. All right, that's a big one. Museums, museum theaters, creative partners, a lot of cultural and creative stakeholders. All right, sounds good. Private villas. I'm totally curious or on what was that about, Benedetta. Nice. All right, so I'm gonna go through with my presentation. We have defined the type of stakeholders that your business wants to interact with. Now, what I'm seeing and getting from the comments, I've seen local government authorities. I believe I've seen founders, but what I was missing, and I'm gonna look again, were artists, designer, and content creators. Right? Usually, people are looking where the money is coming from. Okay, local craftsmen. All right, Miriana, that's a nice one. Usually people are looking where the money are coming from, but are not looking on the other way where the content is, right? In order to put a value on your business, you need artisans, designer, and content creators to better put value in your business. On the other hand, it is important to look at creative partners that are the cheapest amplifier in heritage marketing. What I want to point out here, I'm always talking about this with my students. I'm also teaching at the local university here. I believe that marketing, it's an American word. Here in Europe, we have culture and creativity. So usually, when you see a very aggressive marketing campaign, you think like, of course, this is coming from the US. But when you are seeing a culture and creative ad or a piece of content, even it's promotional or it's intended for you to buy, you appreciate it more. So I believe as businesses, you guys, you need to integrate as much of the creativity and culture in your product to get to the right audience, and you will be able to do this with the creative partners that I was discussing earlier, like artists, designer, and content creators. And based on this and with these instruments, you can go through with the audience analysis and segmentation, where you want to address each segment of the market with a particular communication strategy and talk their language. Even if we are talking on social media, in the place where you set up a shop, at the events that you are promoting, or any cultural activity that you are doing. So the main idea is that everyone, and maybe I should point out, everyone else is not a segment, right? It's a refusal to choose. You should take the audience of I don't know, 150 people, as we are here, and try to see if they are SMEs, if they are NGOs, and if they are representing a specific niche that you want to focus in, right? So when you are segmenting your audience, you can look at the demographics like age, gender. You can see the location, the income range where they are, the language they are speaking. So all this segment is called demographics. You can look at behavioral, what they are doing, how often they visit your events or shop, how long they are staying there, how long they are dwelling to your event, what are the channels they use to interact with you. Maybe they are on Instagram or on TikTok, on LinkedIn. I don't know, or maybe they usually buy tickets tickets online. Also, you can see who they bring to the event, to the shop, right? If it's family, if it's friends, if it's a group of friends. Also, you can look of psychographic thing, like identities, what motivates them, what are the values, what is the lifestyle they have. And considering the Generation Z, we definitely can say it's a more diverse generation from a psychographic metric than the older ones, right? Also, you can look at value based, what jobs to be done they are looking for, what is the main advantage that they get when they visit the event, the expo, or the shop you're having. What's the actual behind the visit. If you are able to find the value based metric and segment your audience on the value they receive, I believe this is the most important thing that you can do. It reveals what's the actual choice, why they choose you from the entire market, why did they choose to spend time at your event, at your shop. Also, you can have 5 visitor identities, right? So we were looking at the demographic, behavioral, psychographic, and value based segmentation, but we can also look at the visitor identities. They can be explorers, they are curiosity driven, love to go in depth, and don't like rigid tours. They can be facilitators. They are coming for someone else, like kids, partners, or friends. And we've seen in the examples you've gave earlier, professor are a type of identity that you can interact with. Experience seeker, right? They want iconic places, photogenic moments. There are places now at the galas, events, or the museum specifically created for Instagram, right? So you want to have that place where people come and take photos, and those photos act as a word of mouth for your business. You are gaining more traction only for organizing such a place for people to come, and these are the experience seeker. Also, you can look at the professional and hobbies, specific knowledge interest. They go deep, they narrow down on specific aspects, and they repeat the visits. They are always curious about what is new, what they can find out just hitting your place. And another identity is the recharger, comes for peace and beauty, low stimulation, and the great atmosphere that you are offering. So based on this lens, right, you can segment your audience, and you can better understand the needs that they are having and how they interact with your business. Um, One of the interesting question is answering this. I'm hiring this site too, and when I'm saying hiring, the person that are coming to your museum, to your shop, to whatever, to your event, right? They want to answer this question. So I also give a couple of example here. Teach my kids something real, feel proud of where I'm from, be alone for an hour, right? These are the examples to some answers to the question above. And based on that, you can define an actual persona, a heritage persona. And each visitor can you consider, you can see their names, but having the name, it is important, of course, but it is important to understand what they are identifying themselves with, right? Maybe they just want to spend the weekend. Maybe they are facilitators for some kids, teach the kids something, and so on, right? Maybe they've seen something on Instagram or WhatsApp, and they want to have a 3 hours relaxing time. You can define this personas. I've also included this template in the material that I will send after this session. And looking at your audience, you can place a tag on them just to have an idea with whom you are interacting with. Based on this dimension, on these name tags that you on these identities, personas that you've defined, you can start and score it, analyze it, right? Pick with this you can pick your primary segment. What is the size? How many people are just coming with kids or families, or how many are in a age range that you are targeting? What is the fit? How well do we serve them today? Maybe they are interested, maybe they are just passing by. How likely is to convert them into clients? And what is the strategic value that they bring on? If we are talking about group of peoples, usually this is a very important segment that you want to attract to your business. And here I want to pause for a second and present that in the digital world, having these metrics, it's way easier to measure the personas that are interacting with your website, your application, or your social media account. Even if on Facebook or Instagram or other social media sites you don't have advanced metrics, if you have a platform where you're promoting your services, your products, your events, you can install Google Analytics. There are a couple of other tools like Hotjar and was it Hog, something with Hog, where you can actually see how people interact with your application. How do they scroll? How do they click on links? If they fill forms, where they get stuck in a multi-process form, and so on. But the main objective here is to segment your primary audience and score it based on the behavior they have, even if it's online or offline. And to actually understand this, I've prepared simple exercise, right? So in order to understand the segment that you are primarily targeting in one sentence, it's important to write something like this. My primary segment is who, right? Who's the segment you are targeting on? So you can see down below the example is parents of 7 and 12 years old with 90 minutes drive, right? Who and then behavior, because they like to get this job done, right? Hopefully this makes sense. And until I get my voice back again, I would ask you to write a sentence like this for you to better understand who your audience is. So I'll be looking for your answer. So please write a sentence about who is your audience, how they behave, and what are the jobs they want to get done when they visit your business. And of course, we've seen an example a couple of minutes away. A person, I don't remember his name, was looking for a partner in the recipe he had. So I am very curious what Dimitri, I believe, was telling us about his product. Corporate and cultural tourists. Okay, thank you, Nikolai. What I will do is go more and see how the cultural tourists behave and why do they choose you. What is the job to be done they are looking for when they come to you. All right, individuals looking for healthy and wholesome escapes. All right, this is way better, Nikolai. Thank you. A couple of young professional, educated, well-trained international living in France, age between 30-35, traveling independently. They are dressed casually, wearing comfortable shoes, carrying leather bags. Wow, this is very specific. Looks like ChatGPT did most of the work for Mara. Professional studies to studies the content to prepare their storytelling. Nice, nice, Giovanni. Marion, my primary segment is a small museum and associations who want to manage their collection because they want to preserve the professional with you. All right, thank you, Marion. Juan, large groups would need to have a cultural activity. It's too generic, Juan. I will definitely go more in depth. Right, the most important question: what is the job they want to get done when they visit your business? Monica, my primary segment is visitors, no matter from where, but they should be people that love to share their experience just to achieve memories of experience realized. All right, that's a nice one, but a little bit too generic. Monica, families, couples, and cultural tourists who are not very interested in history because they are too lazy to look for interest. Javier, that's an interesting one. What mention I have to your reply is that you should look what they want, not they don't want, because it's hard to narrow down. Thank you, Juan. Anna, my primary segment is conversation material who takes several. Very good. Nice, nice. All right, so the time is ticking. I'll go through the presentation. I will also send the materials after so you can go through this process by yourself. But thank you so much for the answers. I really appreciate it. All right, so what makes a strong segment statement, right? It names a behavior, not just the demographics. And I've seen you guys posted a lot of age ranges, right? It says where they are now, not where they wish, not where you wish they were, because you better understand the audience when they say where they are now, and has a because, right? A job to be done. Most importantly, what they are looking for, what is the value, what is the job that you can do for them to be happy, of course. And it fits in one breath, and I don't want to tell you more about that. The long the sentence is, my breath goes away. All right. uh, After you've profiled your persona, your customer persona, I think it is important for you to look at some emerging trends that are happening right now in cultural and creative industries. So what's going now? It's the hyper local pride, right? So people want to buy local products, right? And they are proud about it. They are proud about it on social media. they are proud with neighbors, families, and so on. It is a trend that is growing, and considering the stage in where Europe is it's right now, I believe for the next 3 to 5 years, this local pride will grow. There is also a trend in the digital economies. Companies want to buy software from Europe. We are kind of dependent about what's going over the ocean in the US. And in this project, as far as I know, there is a huge interest in buying software solution from local companies in Europe, not from the US. I'm using PowerPoint here to do a slideshow, but also I can use a European uh, alternative. So the shifts here, residents are rediscovering their own heritage. After the pandemic, the preferences is more meaningful and is more interested in what's around them. I'm also seeing a huge interest in event-based marketing. So if something's happening, I'm going out of the house. If there is no event, there is no need for me to go to the local shop or local bar. If there is some kind of a meeting with people that they are discussing local products or local recipes or something cultural, I want to be there. If not, that's no interesting. So there is a huge list of consumption shifts. On the other hand, we have digital shifts, and I've told you about the interest in European digital products, but also we are seeing a lot of gaining on new social media platforms like TikToks. I personally don't like TikTok, but I can see the shift in power considering the other platforms. A newcomer is gaining more and more audiences. It's based on short videos, short messages. It is more important to send the message in the first 3 seconds. But if you have your business presented in 30 to 90 seconds on TikTok, it is better that that elevator pitch that everybody is talking about, right? And also the thing on digital is to find your most photogenic minutes and how you can interact. So I gave you down below a couple of examples on how Pompeii Archaeological Park officially moved on TikTok, and they are hitting 1 million views on the videos that they are posting. There is one example in Bucharest where guides are experts in storytellers, and they are turning the locals into repeated visitors because there is always a story to tell. Also, there is a trend on slow tourism, right? You don't want crowded places. You want fewer visitors that stays longer, that engage deeper with your product, with your experience, with your event, right? You can increase, for example, if you have a venue, you can increase the passes to multi-day passes, not only one day. And have um, uh, residency style visit. People want to know each other, they want to interact. The value might come from the interaction of your visitor or your clients more than whatever you are sale. And then on the other hand, on the digital shift, we are seeing more and more AR gamification, and also pre-visit, on-visit, and post-visit layers where people are seeing things on the internet, on social media, and then after they visit, they follow and they receive notification on whatever events you are going to do next. So I can see that the time is passing, so I'll go a little bit further. You have the examples here, but I want the part with the discussion and questions as well. We can also look at the value-led visiting and verify provenance. The audience chooses on sustainability and inclusions, of course, and I believe you already seen this trend. And most important on the digital shift, it's open data on collections on sources coming from the digital part from the I founded the digital marketing agency about 20 years ago, and also we are developing all kind of management solution, digital management solution for companies. We can see that more and more people are looking for open source solution, open data where they can interact with the data they have. And this is a trend that it's gaining and gaining more traction lately. Also, I've put here tool steep VO. It's a test. You will see the template in the materials I will send after the presentation, and you look at a series of factors that can identify how the audience or how the stakeholders that we were discussing earlier interact with your business. And the factors are social, technological. We can see a huge shift in the technological view, considering I'm having this digital background. The artificial intelligence and the AI that uh, has been developed in the past 2 years had a big impact on how I'm managing my business, right? So the technological impact, the economic impact, the environmental, right? So we can see climate changes, and most studies saying that the next crisis will be generated by climate changes, right? So we have the coronavirus pandemic, but the next one is going to be different. It's going to be on climate, political, and we are getting a lot of that in Romania nowadays, and European Union, and all over the world, I guess. Values and organizational impact. Usually this is the internal capacity of the company and the partners that interact with your organization. And also, if we are talking about bigger companies, what is the governance mechanism that steers your company in all these metrics and all these factors that impact your business. On the factors that impact, you need to adopt, right? Start now, allocate the budget and the people for what you want to achieve and how you want to develop your business. Monitor, watch how things are reacting, and revise. And if there is no need for you, just keep free up your attention and focus on whatever is working for you. But keep in mind the factors that are impacting your business and how the stakeholders that interact with your business perceive are perceived, like social, technological, economical, and so on. I would get to the next exercise, but I believe we are not too good on time. How are we doing, Joe?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. All right. So we can go to to this as well. The next section, the next module of my presentation is to get from insights to positioning and the channel mix, right? So to better understand this section, I would ask you guys to answer this question, right? For the segment and the name of behavior, not the demographics, as we've discussed earlier, where when we are profiling or our audience, we can look the specific segments, and one of the segments can be the behavior of the audience, right? For a specific segments, we are and then you need to fill in the category. What kind of organization are you in their head, in your client's head, and what's the unique value that you are putting on the table, and the reason you think you are doing that, right? So as you've did earlier, please write a sentence that represent your product, your company, that take into account the behavior, right? The category of organization you are, the unique value you're putting in the on the table, and the reason you believe you can do that, the actual proof, right? The receipt that lets them trust the claim that you have the unique value. Hopefully this make yes, it is a hard one. Yeah, let's try it, please, Benedetta. And I believe after this we have a couple of more slides, and nothing no more hard tests for you guys. And you'll if you'll go through with this, you'll receive the materials, and it's gonna be a great day for us. All right, so here we have an answer from Galin. For the families, we are offering education and alternative spendings of value time, because currently there is no such service on the market. All right, very general, but it answers. You have a big check mark on all four requirements. Cultural experiences. Nikolai is just oh, he's putting in every section apart. For family with children between 4 and 18 years old, we are the content creators that give them different art forms, and in the same time a new form of learning, because they are working on integrating technology and interactive experience that could be used in the learning process. Very nice, Victoria, thank you. For skill-based learn seekers, we are a teach company with soul that integrates art, philosophy, and critical thinking, social media, because we believe in the well-being, spread thoughts, good cultural collaboration. Thank you, Helen. Specializing in AR and VR, we offer solution for. That's an interesting one. 1 second. For museum and archaeological site for interactive experience. Thank you, Leticia. For museum, we are the organization that can elevate their visibility, because people after their experience, they can share the experience on social media. Okay, that's good. And then thank you, Monica. For a small heritage site with little money and competencies, we are the software providers that offer a solution for collection, inventory, management of I cannot see this text because they have it in the dark heritage data management for tiny association. Very interesting, Marion. For content creators and cultural exhibitors, we are delivering open source tools, giving them giving them the ownership to publish and monetize their content. That's very, very interesting, Mikhail. I definitely agree that offering open source tools, it's a great value for your customers. All right, so there are many, many answers here. I can also see again XR and AR, but we'll go through with the slides and then have a discussion at the end. All right, so we've been discussing about positioning. I've been seeing a couple of good examples, and here's an example that I've prepared. You will receive the presentation as well, so you can analyze it further. And also, I've put together a matrix, channel and segment match channel, to better understand where you're targeting specific segments of the audience, right? Maybe you have a website and you want to do some SEO, search engine optimization. Nowadays, you can do also GEO, I believe it's called, optimization for AI agents and large language models. And you can see you have a strong fit possible, depends, and the weak fit depending on each type or each segment of your audience on the channel that you want to communicate or get in touch with your audience, right? So for public authorities, is not important Instagram and TikTok. You want them on site at your events, right? It's very uh, important, right? With the visitors, you want to have them as partnerships. You want them to promote your business, and then that's the same for cultural tourism, and so on. I'll send you the matrix so you can use it yourself at the end of this session. One important thing about the communication channels that you use, and I want to stress this out: when I'm saying communication channels, I'm referring to any media source that you're using. It can be social media, of course, it can be your website, it can be a blog, it can be a podcast that you're using, it can be the local newspaper, it can be a poster in the student cantina. It can be just a flyer at the event or your business card. There are some channels, communication channels that you can control it. You can do pretty much everything, like your website, newsletter, and members area. You control the content that you are showing there, right? There are channels that you earn, like press, partner for co-marketing campaigns, and reviews on other websites or platforms, right? And also there is the social channel who's gaining more and more momentum, like Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. But be very cautious here. Each of these platforms that I'm listing, and the list goes on, we can talk about YouTube, Facebook, and so on, has a specific way you can communicate with your audience, right? So there is not specific rule, but on Instagram you will usually see posts related to travel location. On TikTok, it's more natural, more common. People just go online and talk about things that they care. And on LinkedIn, we can see uh, more professional profile, closer to your CV, then whatever you are doing on TikTok, it will not work on LinkedIn, and the other way around. This is the thing that I'm stressing out. So the thing is, you should plan your budget carefully, and what I'm seeing with my with the client or businesses that I'm interacting with, if your budget will go to zero, what are you going to do next month? Which is the channels that will produce your results? So you should be very careful how you allocate your budget, what brings you the return. And if you don't have any budget for marketing, what is the bootstrap method that you can use in order to gain more visitors, to gain more audience or more clients? So just to close the loop here, make sure you look at the whole ecosystem, map the stakeholders, and see what are their interests and what influences their decision. Pick a specific segment, work on that segment until you understand what is the job to be done that they are looking for. Look for the trends and go to the step view on each specific persona that you have defined. And on the persona that you have defined, you should look for a positioning strategy, like the sentences with the four slots presented. And once you have this positioning, choose the specific channel that you need to communicate with that particular audience. So this was my presentation. I also have a few materials that I've prepared. I will put them on the screen right now just to have a look at the templates. But until I will do that, if you have questions, please just write it down or raise your hand or talk if you can. I'll just look for the... Thank you. I'm seeing lots of applause here. Thank you for staying with me. Let me check the tools, the worksheet, because it's a worksheet actually. And based on the worksheet, I wanna tell you some other things, but give me a second. Where is this? Slides, handout, this PDF. All right. So it's pretty much the same template and styles, but here you can fill in like what is specific for your business. So you can define what influences and what are your what's the interest of your audience. You can have the name tag on specific identity persona that you are working with, and also score the segment that is most important to you and do a sum. And also look some trends that you want to adopt and what you'll do about it, right? Also the step VO analysis. This is gonna take like 30 minutes, and hopefully you can still see my screen. And what else do I have here? The final slide, and that's it. Usually what I'm doing in this kind of situation, I just take this type of templates, drag them into ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT, please walk me step by step on how to define my audience, how to set up my buyer persona, how should I look through my audience, and this will definitely help. All right, thank you as well. I'm also looking for Yes, Giovanni, Georgiana will send the slides and the information. Thank you, Mihail. Thank you, Inasi. All right. Any questions? If there are any specific question, please. Oh, I can see that Clara is offering integrated services. All right, Clara, it's a nice place to promote yourself, and I can see you have a couple of hearts here. Right. No questions here. So, do we still have time? How are we doing?
I think we have some time. If you have any questions, you can speak. Of course, you can open your mics, or you can also write in the chat. And just a reminder that we will share all materials at the end of the program, including the recordings, the slides, and of course, if the speaker wants, we will share additional material.
Yeah,
so no
that's
worries
why
about it.
I've prepared them. I believe it's a nice framework for the SMEs to use when they are defining the audience they want to interact with.
Thank you. And thank you, Marius, for this very insightful presentation. I'm also really happy that I see such an active chat today. I see a lot of interaction. So if there are no further questions, I would like to thank you all for participating today. And once again, a special thank to our speaker for today's session.
We'll definitely meet again on the 5th of June, right?
Yes, for sure, because we have another session. And before we close, I would also like to remind you that our next session would take place this Thursday, and we'll focus on gender inclusion and diversity in cultural heritage innovation. I expect this to be also a very interesting webinar. So, okay, I see a lot of thank you here. So with this opportunity, thank you all once again, and I will see you next Thursday.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.